Welcome to another episode of Africa Farming. My name as always is Samuel, and this is Olosui and Kajiado, where our farm is located. All of you know that we always practice mixed farming, which means we keep both livestock and we plant crops. In this episode, as per the title in our video, we're going to tell you why we've decided to also venture into rabbit keeping or rabbit farming. So if you're new here, kindly take time to subscribe, hit on the notification bell so that YouTube can always notify you whenever we have a new video released. Of course, it's been a while since we did our last video, but you can always go back to our channel, go and check through, browse through our videos and see what is relevant to you, and make sure that you leave your comments so that we know what you think about our videos. Straight on to the reasons as to why we decided to venture into rabbit farming. Number one, gestation period. For those people who've watched the sheep farming, the reasons why we ventured into sheep farming, you know that sheep take 5 months for them to, sire kids. So the other reason why we decided to venture into rabbit farming is that rabbits now take 28 days to, sire kids. And one thing, the difference between rabbits and probably sheep is that you find that rabbits will not litter. Their litter will not just be one, the way sheep are used to. Sheep will actually give birth to 1 or 2 kids, or 3 at most. So you'll find that for rabbits, they'll have higher litter, which might be around 6. The minimum that I've seen is around 6. So they have a very high reproductive rate. After 28 days, they actually give birth. So that means in a year, if we have a rabbit that is that has gotten to that age where it's supposed to be productive or reproducing, you can give it 28 days once it's actually pregnant for it to sire kids. Give it a month or a month and a half to take care of the little ones, then take it back to the back for it now to be mounted again, then count 28 days. So in a year, you will actually notice that probably rabbits can give birth up to six times on the minimum. So that is number one reason as to why we decided to venture into rabbit keeping. The second reason, rabbits do not require a lot of space. Of course, I have like 10.5 acres of farm, but rabbit farming was not one of the things that I wanted to venture into. So I decided, let's just venture into, because it does not require a lot of space on the farm, because my space on the farm has already been allocated. It has already been planned for. But now introducing rabbits to the farm does not really alter the plan that I had initially. So that is also a reason as to why I decided to venture into rabbit farming. The other reason is the low maintenance costs and the low startup costs. Now, as you can see, I have rabbits here that I've brought to be the breeder stock, right? And if you can see, I have like two female adults and 1 male adult, and 2 kids that are already born where I bought, because the person who sold them to me sold the whole stock to me. So I got 2 kids, 1 female, 1 male, and the adults I got like 3, 2 female, 1 adult. The maintenance cost is very minimal because they consume hay. They take the normal water that we normally take here at the farm. They don't need vaccination the way chicken require vaccination. The way chickens have vaccination schedule, rabbits don't have that. So when it comes to maintenance and the startup costs, rabbit farming is very low on that. As you can see, the housing requirements are very low. As you can see behind me, this is where we anticipate to keep our rabbits. Of course, there's that makeshift shelter that we've decided to put them in the meantime before my farm guy prepares these for transferring them here permanently so that they can start there before now they start reproducing. The other reason as to why we have decided to venture into rabbit farming is the high quality meat. Now, one thing is there are people who have issues with cholesterol and meat that has a lot of fat and all that. So when it comes to rabbit meat compared to chicken meat, most people who've eaten rabbit meat know that it tastes close to chicken meat. But the difference here is that chicken meat might have a lot of fat, which might contain a lot of cholesterol. So for those people who are health conscious, you'll find that rabbit meat is very lean for you and very healthy. So I'm targeting those people who are health conscious. Personally, for me, I'm very health conscious. I love eating lean meat. So for me, this would actually be the best for me. Rabbit meat is not popular with people, especially this area that we are in, rabbit meat is not popular. But I'll tell you for a fact, even in my own household, I'm the only one who eats rabbit meat. But I want to influence people around me to be able to take this up, because rabbit meat is very lean, very healthy, has very low cholesterol levels. So for those people who don't take meat because of cholesterol issues, they can decide to, opt for rabbit meat. The other reason as to why I ventured into rabbit keeping or rabbit farming is that it has versatile products. There's a time, for those people who watched our video on the Nairobi International Trade Fair, you found that there was a section for rabbits where people use the fur to make clothes and even shoes and all that. So the fur is very, very important when it comes to the processing of other products such as clothes, shoes, and other things. So that's also another reason. There's also other products like like manure. I'm at the farm. Of course, we have sheep and we have goats and we have chicken. But one thing about rabbits is that whatever manure that they produce can be used directly. You don't need to compost it the way we do for the sheep, goats, and chicken manure. This one, you can use it directly, because that is how rabbit waste can be used. It has very little bacteria that can affect your crops if you use it directly. That's why for sheep, chicken, goats, and all that, you always compost, just to make sure that the bacteria is done away with. When it comes to rabbits, you can use the manure directly from the point where it does the waste. You can pick it up and use it in your farm. So that is also another reason as to why we are thinking of venturing into rabbit keeping, because as I've told you, we are doing mixed farming. So it will be very important at least to use or utilize manure from the rabbits to the in the farm, because sometimes it takes long to decompose sheep, goat, and chicken manure. So sometimes you find that we don't have manure at the farm, organic manure. So right now I think we'll be having manure from the rabbits. Also, the rabbit urine. Once we do the actual construction of the right housing for these rabbits, we'll be using the rabbit urine to spray our crops, because it can actually be used as a pesticide as well as fertilizer. The other reason is that we also want to create, as I've told you, this area is not popular for rabbit farming. So we also want to create sensitization and create a market for breeding stock. If you look at our rabbits, you'll find that they are huge, very nice breeds. We have California white and all that. They can be used as breeding stock for the people around us, so that we can actually be giving them out. For those who want to buy, they can buy and start rabbit keeping, because at the end of it all, we are targeting the export market, which has a minimum threshold. And one of the reasons why we need other people to also venture into rabbit keeping is that we need to meet that threshold for us to be able to export. So as I mentioned, we have, when it comes to readiness to market, you only need 3 to 4 months for your rabbits to actually be ready for meat, to gain that weight that is required for slaughtering. So I think it also makes business sense when it comes to the market, even though we are trying to sensitize people on adopting rabbit farming. You'll find that, when people take it up as, a source of protein, healthy protein, then it will only be requiring around 3 to 4 months for us to supply people with the rabbits. The other reason as to why we want to keep rabbits is the growing demand. In as much as this area has not yet adopted that, there is that growing demand. If you look at social media platforms and all that, you find that people are really inquiring about rabbit farming and rabbit keeping, and even the rabbit meat. So it's not like initially where people used to keep rabbits only for pets. Right now, people are keeping it for meat, because people have become health conscious. People are trying to maintain a lifestyle that will actually make them live longer. They're trying to, avoid, they want to still enjoy meat, but avoid issues that would actually, bring issues, sicknesses or illnesses later on, like cholesterol and all that. So it has a growing demand. Of course, there are cultural issues that prevent or act as barriers to entry when it comes to rabbit meat. But we are trying to sensitize people that rabbits can also be used as meat. Because where we are in the African society, rabbits have not been actually seen as a source of meat. They've actually been used as pets. Most people have cultural beliefs that prevent them from eating rabbit meat. Yet rabbit meat is one of the most, or rather one of the healthiest source of protein when it comes to meat products. The last reason as to why we are venturing into rabbit keeping, and I think this is something that I also mentioned while passing, is that we are also looking at the export market. Rabbit meat can be a very good potential for export market. If you look at foreign countries, they take a lot of rabbit meat. The problem with us as Kenyans, and even I think it's an African issue, is that we do not produce a lot of rabbits to get to that threshold that we can be able to export. Because for us to export, we need to get to a threshold. There is a minimum threshold, which I think I'll confirm later on and tell you. But there is a minimum threshold when it comes to the tonnage that we need for us to be able to export to those countries that really are in need of rabbit meat. So I want to contribute to that, to be part and parcel of those people who will make sure that the tonnage gets there. And as part of also one of the things that I'll also do will be sensitizing people around us so that we can get to that minimum threshold that is required for the international market for us to export. So there's a great potential when it comes to the export market. And one thing that I forgot to tell you, this can be, because of their high productivity rate, it can also be a very good source of protein for the people who live here in the farm. And also for the animals like dogs that we have at the farm, they can actually have consistency of food when it comes to the farm. So it will actually be a very good complement when it comes to food, the source of food in this farm and where I stay. So I think that's it in a nutshell. Those are some of the reasons why personally I decided to also diversify or venture into rabbit farming here at the farm. Now, of course, we'll be doing videos more and more when it comes to rabbit farming, as well as goat, sheep, chicken, and other animals that we'll be bringing here at the farm. So I hope you'll continue watching us. And for you to continue watching us, you have to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you do that. Hit the notification bell so that YouTube can always notify you whenever we have these videos uploaded. And until next time, stay woke, stay peaceful, and always remember to changamka na ukulima. Bye bye.